The next world war might not begin with bombs. It could start with a keyboard. No soldiers, no tanks, and absolutely no warning. This is the story of how cyber warfare became the most dangerous and invisible battlefield of the modern age. For centuries, the concept of war was straightforward. It was about armies clashing, territories being conquered, and physical destruction. It was a tangible, visible conflict. But today, the nature of warfare has undergone a radical transformation. The most devastating battles are now fought with code. Imagine this: a government can shut down an entire nation's power grid, plunging millions into darkness. They can steal top-secret nuclear codes, cripple financial systems, and paralyze transportation networks, all without firing a single shot. This isn't science fiction. This is the reality of 21st century conflict. The new soldiers are programmers, and their weapons are lines of code, capable of causing chaos on a global scale from a single anonymous laptop. The world got its first real glimpse of this new reality in 2010. A highly sophisticated and secret digital weapon, later named Stuxnet, was unleashed. Its target was Iran's nuclear program. This wasn't a bombing raid or a special forces operation. Stuxnet was a worm that infiltrated the secure network controlling Iran's centrifuges, the machines used to enrich uranium. It subtly manipulated the equipment, causing it to spin out of control and self-destruct, all while feeding false data back to the operators, making them think everything was normal. There was no explosion, no invasion, just meticulously crafted lines of code, systematically dismantling a critical part of a nation's infrastructure from the inside. Stuxnet was the digital equivalent of a stealth bomber, and its successful mission announced to the world that the age of cyber war had officially begun. Since Stuxnet, the floodgates have opened. The frequency and severity of cyber attacks have exploded, touching every aspect of our lives. We've seen hospitals have their systems locked down by ransomware with patient lives hanging in the balance. We've witnessed major banks have their operations frozen, preventing people from accessing their own money. And perhaps most disturbingly, we've seen allegations of foreign powers hacking and influencing democratic elections, striking at the very heart of sovereign nations. This isn't a conflict fought between just two adversaries: Russia, China, the United States, North Korea, Iran. Every major global power is now deeply invested in developing and deploying offensive cyber capabilities. They are engaged in a constant, silent war, probing each other's defenses, stealing secrets, and positioning themselves for a future where digital dominance equals global power. This silent conflict has sparked a new kind of arms race, one that's happening in server rooms and research labs instead of on military proving grounds. Having the most advanced missiles or the largest navy is no longer enough to guarantee security. Nations are now racing to build the next generation of digital weapons. We're talking about artificial intelligence that can learn to hack systems faster and more effectively than any human. We're talking about the formation of dedicated cyber armies, battalions of elite government hackers trained for both defense and attack. We're even seeing the development of autonomous attack systems, AI that could potentially identify a threat and launch a devastating cyber counterattack without any human intervention. In this new era, the strongest country in the future might not be the one with the biggest military budget, but the one with the most brilliant programmers. So, the ultimate question is, could a cyber war trigger the next world war? The answer is a chilling yes. Think about the chain reaction. A sophisticated cyber attack could be used as a first strike to shut down a nation's air defense systems, blinding their radars and disabling their communication satellites. This would leave them completely vulnerable to a conventional attack with real missiles and bombers. What happens if a country's command and control system is hacked, and it receives false data indicating it's under nuclear attack? The pressure to launch a retaliatory strike would be immense. The line between a digital provocation and an act of war is dangerously thin, and a miscalculation in cyberspace could easily spill over into the physical world, leading to catastrophic consequences. The first shot of the next global conflict might not be a gunshot, but a single click. The battlefield of the future is here. It is invisible, and the war has already begun. The conflicts that will define our century are being fought right now, in the ones and zeros of the digital world. To understand the hidden forces shaping our future, make sure you subscribe to WW2 Chronicles. Thanks for watching.